Christ's letters. Continuation of letter 6 and going into letter 7. They bind people to my age-old persona of Jesus, preaching the salvation of man from punishment for his sins by my death on the cross. As I have explained elsewhere, these beliefs are physically impossible and contrary to the facts of creation. No payment is extracted for sin by any superior deity. This is a human concept entirely and pagan. All bloodletting of any description for the purpose of religious rites is paganism. The Christian Church has presented its followers with nothing less than a glorified version of paganism. When people make other people unhappy in any way, they are creating their own future comeback, not as retribution, but as a consciousness activity of creation. Therefore, it is a matter of urgency that these beliefs in sin and salvation by my death on the cross should be strongly combated and replaced by the spiritual understanding given you in these letters. Before leaving this subject of religious doctrines, I want to make it clear that some spiritual seekers within the Christian Church down the ages have sufficiently purified their consciousness to become strongly aware of a power they have called God and have come to recognize that the source of being is not as taught by the Church. But only a few people have been sufficiently spiritually evolved to move beyond the parameters of religious beliefs to feel the full inflow of power, since the vast majority of people can only conceive truth within an earthly terminology. I, the Christ, have to tell you that to this time, not one of all the saints has even glimpsed the reality of creation and the truth behind human behavior as I am presenting it to you now. The time has surely come when you must now be told the truth concerning sin and human behavior and what people are presently doing to the world and to themselves, providing you have fully abandoned the age-old myths of religious doctrine and are presently eager, receptive, and gladly opening your hearts completely to the realities of existence. If you are none of these things, then what I have to say will have no meaning for you. Believe me, you cannot mix your old religious beliefs with the truth of existence. If you try to do so, you may be sure that you are not seeing truth, but only your adaptation of what you believe you have gained from these pages. If you continue the search for truth of existence, but remain in a divided state of conviction, you may continue the search at great cost to yourselves, torn by indecision, fear, and a continuing inability to perceive the true meaning of the new teaching. Your developing perceptions will be partially obscured by messages arising out of the old conditioning of your conscious and subconscious mind. You may not realize the enormity of such a problem at this present time, but it is a tremendous problem because your present deep beliefs are your present truth on which you construct your daily lives. They are your reality. Your convictions and strongly held beliefs may be completely illusory, but if you fully believe in them in your subconscious, they become absolutely real for you. No matter how compelling of your attention may be any new ideas contradicting your beliefs, your consciousness will be split and will give enormous discomfort. even anguish to you. Remember, your consciousness is the fabric out of which you make your lives. This consciousness fabric is the ground of your every response to every single thing which happens in your mental, emotional, and physical lives. Your consciousness is your reality. This statement may be expressed in two ways, both of which are the truth of your existence. Your consciousness creates your reality, irrespective of what the actual facts of your earthly life may be. When people believed the earth was flat, they were afraid to venture too far over the ocean, lest the ship should fall over the edge. The people who believed in a flat earth lived according to that belief. When Galileo said the earth was round, he was considered a heretic, but his perception of the roundness of the earth enabled sailors to take a new look at the world and set out to discover what lay the other side of the ocean. It required a change in their belief to make this possible. You are in a similar position in regard to these letters. Those people who discount and ridicule them are like the people who believed in a flat earth and were afraid of falling over the edge if they sailed too far to the west or east of their known environment. Their horizons were severely limited by their false beliefs. So are the horizons of those people who believe the world to be solid, also severely restricted. Day after day, they lament and grieve over the misfortunes which have befallen the world, believing there is no escape from them. But the people who can grasp and welcome the truth of consciousness I am presently giving the world are like those who perceived that travel on the oceans could be limitless, undertaken in all directions, providing they had the will to set out on such a journey. Therefore, your state of consciousness is the most important consideration in your life, not your relationships or possessions or your position in life. Tend to your consciousness and the blessedness in all aspects of your life will follow. By your consciousness, you feed yourself with inner love and harmony, joy and beauty, even in the back streets of a slum. With such a consciousness, you will find yourself being removed from the streets of the slum into an environment in keeping with your inner self. So do you climb out of unpleasant circumstances. From the foregoing, you should now be able to see that only you create the quality of your internal world, whether you find yourself externally in prison or in command of a battleship. And you can enhance your surroundings by radiating to them the life force which animates your thinking. And again, your consciousness is your reality, not your husband or wife, children, home, garden, possessions, qualifications, workplace, friends. For whatever place your people and your possessions occupy in your consciousness, good or evil, this place is only your personal perception of them. The reality of these people is not truly known to anyone. No one has access to the innate goodness hidden in an apparently negative character. Conversely, no one has suspect the hidden drives and desires of a seemingly personable human being. Your external life only impinges on your consciousness. It does not, cannot, create or determine your conscious responses. You are the creator of your responses. Your type of creation depends entirely on your deepest perceptions and beliefs regarding existence. Furthermore, you can, at any moment, choose to gradually dismantle your past inner world in order to create a more harmonious inner kingdom of increasing love, vitality, and joy, although your outer objects, people, or possessions remain the same. The spiritual power of the fabric of your consciousness will be radiated outwards and absorbed by the people, plants, and bricks and mortar in your immediate vicinity. There will be definite changes and improvements in all that comes within your orbit. It is your destiny in this life or future lives to arrive at this full and complete realization. When you do, you will put your foot to the path of self-mastery and then gradually move forward to becoming a true master of your human consciousness world, interpenetrated and assisted by divine consciousness. I, the Christ, commend this letter to you. I have put you in full possession of some of the important facts of creation, which will enable you to transcend the ego, the guardian of your individuality, and to return to the universality of being from which you have really come. You have within your hands the means by which you can move into unconditional love, joy, and personal fulfillment. Remember that I have said that I yearn over the spiritual traveler's progress. As you move along the path I have outlined for you, there will be times of confirmation that I am indeed with you on your journey. You will see them. Retain your faith in them. At all times, I uphold you in divine love, for I am divine love in action. Believe this and find rest in my consciousness enfolding you. Okay, so this is it for letter 6. Let's end this. Thank you. I love you. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye.